we're live with Teegan Herron, and he's one of the best drifters up here in the local South Dakota scene. He owns many drift cars and many project cars, and has been drifting for quite a while. And you like a variety of different chassis, and I just kind of want to know a little bit more about you and what got you into drifting.
Well, thanks, Scott. Got me into drifting, I guess, would be my high school buddies. Always seeing them working on their cars made me ambitious to join them. So I followed suit, got me a Mustang, and the rest was history. I've had probably about 80 cars since then, and I have 9 right now.
Gosh, that's awesome. And how many years have you been drifting?
I think about 6 years now.
6 years. All right, so about the same time that I've been drifting as well. So what? I know your friends are a big part. Obviously, they always are with car culture, kind of getting you into different things. So your friends got into drifting, and then you just kind of wanted to follow their footsteps, or you just saw it and just got enticed by it. Or...
Yeah, I saw drifting. I saw the fun they were having. I saw the passion that they had for their cars and the personalities that they were expressing through that. As a kid, we were always riding our bikes everywhere, doing our thing. So this is just a different version of that as an adult, I guess.
What would you say is the biggest challenge to getting a car put together and getting prepared to go to the racetrack?
Just believing in yourself sometimes. Just having the courage to get out there and doing it can sometimes be a problem for some people, but basic knowledge can also be a problem. But I really feel that if you believe in yourself, you can get anything done. And over the years, that's what I've really learned, is probably why I've had so many cars, is trial and error.
Yeah.
Trial and error. As you'll see later on in the video, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of those things that you learn as you go, right? Nobody really knows what they're doing when they start out, but with the help of friends and supporters in the community, it's amazing what you can kind of figure out. What's a car that you'd recommend for someone that's just trying to start out, getting involved in drifting?
Personally, I recommend a G35. That's what I started off and what really stepped up my game. This is a G37 behind us.
Oh, that's right.
I have obviously evolved over the years and gotten nicer cars and destroyed them. But I would recommend G35. It's cheap. You get it for about $2,500 to $5,000, depending on your preference and your market. Weld the diff, get a simple angle kit, get out there and practice. Seat time is the most important thing. I think most people, they need to build a car, just weld the diff, get out there, throw a seat in it. It's another important missed thing. Stay stationary in your car.
Yeah, that is a very good point that's often overlooked, where people don't even think about getting seats in there. But if you're sliding around the car like in my convertible, it's pretty hard to drive it when you can't even keep yourself in position. Yeah, it's you're just spending all your time trying to brace instead of actually driving the car, which is definitely a tricky thing. And one of the common things that everybody usually says is that you start off with a simple car and build it from there. Start off basic and build it from there. Don't start off with something crazy. Don't start off with something that's overbuilt or too expensive or
Correct.
Unreliable, or that you're chasing all these problems with. Get something that's solid, that's a good street car that you can drive, and then take that out on the track as well. And that seems like something you guys probably practice more than most people do, because everybody preaches that, but all your drift cars have plates that are registered and insured, and you drive them on the street all the time too. So
every day. Yeah, it's a passion. We live in a beautiful spot here in the Black Hills. Tons of beautiful, gorgeous hills that we can hit during the day, during the night, and get to express a little bit of our personality.
Absolutely. So you started with the Mustang. Then what was the chassis you moved to? Was it a G35 that you moved to right after the Mustang?
Yeah, so I had tried to build a car. I did what everybody told me not to do and tried to build a car, you know what I mean? I took a 2.3 Mustang and made it a 5.0. Learned a lot about mechanicking, what I need in order to do what this sport entails. But I got a G35 because I was tired of working on my car instead of driving at the track. I paid to be there. That was not fun. So, with the expenses already being tight, with tires, fuel, insurance, because they're already legal, I wanted to drive when I got to the track. Unfortunately, my Mustang let me down a few times. So I bought another car, and it allowed me to get the seat time that was necessary for me to become a better driver. And so that's why I recommend getting a car that already runs, throw your basic mods at it, and learn. You can get a lot done with seat time.
Yeah, you don't have to have like a Starry Night headliner in your car either for it to be a good drift car. We found. I mean, you can have a beat the crap 80s Volvo, as we found out, and that thing will scarily drift. Yeah,
we have the best times following our friend Devin. He has an 80s Volvo, and I mean, we'll be running 8-car trains following a cinder block behind you. I mean, we can't see nothing, but we trust him, and it's amazing what can be done if you push yourself and the car to its limits.
Are you content with just keeping it local and doing grassroots amateur events, or do you have that desire or drive to kind of do more competitive drifting? Like, do you want to run like more competitions and stuff like in Drift Colorado, or are you just okay with just having fun with the boys and doing, you know, tandem trains and just open bash events?
So the open bash events for me, I think, are a little bit more fun. I believe that allows me to keep my costs down a whole lot more, and that's why I have so many vehicles. It's not all my eggs are in one basket. So that helps. It would be fun to obviously compete at that level, but I don't believe that it's a goal that I need to achieve. Like, if that's where the world takes me, then I'll go that way. But right now, grassroots drifting is so much fun, and I can bounce from state to state and wreak havoc.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things I love about it too. Like, I'm very content just running grassroots stuff. You know, I think like the competition side of things is good, and it makes you drive harder and try to become a better driver. But on the other hand, so does grassroots bash events where you're, you know, in a 10-car tandem train.
So much more seat time.
And that's a big thing too. I mean, you get 2 or 3 times as much seat time at an open hot lap, you know, bash event versus, you know,
waiting in line, staging all this event.
Top 32, 2 classes. I mean, it can take 5, 6, 7 hours sometimes. Seems like.
You know, and you're expecting to win, and if you don't win, you're not getting the same seat time as the person who is, you know. So for me, I'm paying to be there regardless. I may as well get all the advantage I personally can, and I'm there to drive, and that's the beautiful thing about this. It's so freaking stock that doesn't overheat. It lap after lap after lap, and we run a lot of freaking lines without stop.
No kidding. I mean, the only time that down at round 2, I mean, that night drift, that open night drift session, that was pretty awesome because, I mean, how many laps did you do? I mean, because you went through, gosh, I mean, like, it seemed like 3 sets or something just in that night session, and we were just running lap after lap. I mean, I probably rode 25 laps with you.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it, is the car doesn't get angry with you because you keep it so simple that it still drives, and that's I think the misconception of what drifting is now is, you know, keep it simple, stupid. They have that saying for a reason.
Yep. Make sure it's reliable. Make sure it's able to stay cool. Make sure that it doesn't make too much power to where you just disintegrate the tires so fast you can get 2 to 4 laps out of them, and you know, make sure it's something that doesn't leak and have issues like that. That's reliable enough that it'll run and drive down the highway no problem, or you can do 10 laps or 20 laps in a row hot lapping.
Yeah, that last event that you were at in Colorado, I drove this from South Dakota down to Colorado, partied in it for 2 days, and drove it back.
I forgot that. You drove it down and back.
Yes.
Absolutely insane.
So I stress getting a reliable car.
Well, and you have AC and
yeah,
all the modern amenities.
System in it.
So this car at the beginning of the year was pretty pristine. What happened to it?
Well, unfortunately, the way that I party with my friends is I like to chase their doors or their bumpers, or I spin out in front of them, and eventually they find me. So either way, unfortunately, we make a little bit of contact, and so it takes nice cars, unfortunately, and sometimes ruin them. But I'll fix them at the end of the season. Right now, I'm just here to drive.
So you just let it get hammered throughout the season, and then in the off season you go through and fix everything back up.
Well, like if I was to damage it again, I'm paying for the same part twice.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to save my money the best I can. I'm already kind of invested in this game, so. And with multiple cars, that gets pretty expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Adds up really quick, especially when you have to have parts for all the different cars, and they're not the same platform. So you need fenders for G's and, you know, Toyotas and Fords and every other. You don't have that Mazda stuff, I think.
No Mazda.
But yeah, I mean, when you have all these different cars, it's kind of gets crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see some of your vehicles here.
All right, so I got this 75 Corolla with the beams in it.
You gonna drift this thing?
No, it's too pretty for that. Unfortunately, you can see why I'm not going to with my other Mustang that is, unfortunately had seen its better days. This is the consequence that happens when you party with your friends and they spin out in front of you.
Oof.
Pushing in about a foot.
Dang.
Mustang rallies in about 2 weeks, and we'll get her straightened out and ready to rock and roll. Before then, she'll be ready to party again. But sadly, that is a consequence. So kids, know the reality of the world that happens when you do that. Also, you break things constantly. You know, you got your friends always leaving your marks on you as well over on this side. They're just, you have nice things and they just destroy them. And then you also destroy things as well because you can't keep your car from spinning out as well. I'm that guy. So it goes both ways.
It sure does.
Know that failure is gonna happen. You're gonna have to accept it. Smile, keep it going, because the world sucks.
Yeah, sometimes you're the one who gets hit, and sometimes you're the one hitting people, right?
Correct. So give some, you take some, and keep partying. That's the best thing about this, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Also got the Corvette over here.
Dang.
Oh, I forgot about my G37 as well.
This is the one with the starry headliner, Starry Night headliner in it. It's pretty rad. It's a pretty sweet little car too. Manual trans. It's a nice ride.
This is the grocery getter, you know. Then we have the Friday night special car. I do have a drift kit for this, but with the way I'm drifting right now, I think I'm gonna wait on that.
Maybe until next season.
Yeah.
And this thing's super clean. This car needs a little paint work on the lip, which you'd imagine is a street car, but it's still kind of too clean to drift, I'd say.
I would agree. I'll let someone else do that.
Yeah, that's too nice. That's too nice. Jeep, that doesn't get drifted, but
The G37 that gets abused. You know, and the one thing I really enjoy about these cars is keep it stock.
keep it stock. All you have is a handbrake right in here. Oh, and you have the wheel. You have the removable wheel, but other than that, even has navigation.
Yes, and a backup camera.
Backup camera. Nice sticker there by Chris.
Yeah. Got my roommate's E30, or E30, I believe is what this is.
Yep.
Someday he'll bring this thing out. Then we got the Slam Mazda with the rotary that we are in the middle of swapping on.
Dang.
Yeah, she's lower.
Rotary.
Yeah, here's the rotary we got. Eventually find its way in there.
13B.
Do things different around here.
Wow, that's cool. All the projects. Well, thanks for taking us on a tour here.
You're welcome.
You can see all the parts and the builds and the continuous typical car guy stuff. Get one more shot of this side here. The risks of drifting.